Hi, everyone. So sorry. I know this is not the ideal way to start the first week, but we will adjust and we will become stronger through this. Um, I haven't even talked to you guys too much about my class, how it works, all that. So, the first thing that I want you guys to do, and just pause this video whenever you need to take a second and catch up. I'm just going to keep going, but pause it. Make sure everyone signed up for Google Classroom. I'll do some practice problems on the first topic in this video as well. So if we need to pause, for time to think and respond and all that. So just pause it frequently throughout this video. The first thing that I want you to do is sign up for my Google Classroom if you have not already done so. The code is T4MEFLW. T4MEFLW. All right. On the stream page, the only thing that's going to be on there is my website. For all classwork, you're going to come here. Okay. So, the first thing that I do want to show you is my website so that you have an understanding of what this looks like. This is just the home screen. We have all the different chapters that we're going to be learning this year. And then in each chapter, so let's say that maybe you're not here for a day in integers or you need extra help in integers. Just come over here. I have Khan Academy videos that you can watch. I'll go over these websites in further detail, but this is called That Quiz. It's kind of like a fluency page. It's really super helpful. We'll talk about that later. I have notes on integers that you can print off or copy. I also have homework or additional sheets that you can work on. So that's what each chapter is. Over here on helpful websites, these are some of the websites we're going to be using this year. We have Khan Academy, That Quiz. This is what it looks like. Like I said, I'll take you into more detail. And then Freckle. Those are some of the more popular ones. We're also going to use a lot of Edpuzzles and Nearpods as well this year. Okay, so when we come in here, I'm going to go to my syllabus just to kind of tell you guys a little bit about my class since we haven't even discussed that yet. I only learned your names, and I'm sure by the time I come back, I might have forgotten some of them. So just kind of give me grace on that as I will have to relearn those. Okay. Rules and expectations. This is on the front of my board. You guys can see this in the front of the room, but no electronics. Calculators are allowed, but not for the first couple chapters. So honestly, you can leave those at home. I know I said that in a couple of the classes, but go ahead and leave those at home for the next month, and I'll let you guys know a week or two ahead of time when you need to start bringing those in. If you don't have a calculator yet, start going out and getting one. You have a couple weeks to do that. Come to class prepared. So you can leave your notebook in class. I showed you where on the first day of school for my second, third, and fourth period classes. But make sure that if you're not leaving it, that you are bringing it to school every day, and you also come with your calculator and your pencil ready. You walk in quietly. You get your do now out. So every day that I am there, there will be a do now on the board, and that's the first thing that you will be working on. Water only in the classroom. We all know that. Raise your hand to get up or to talk. And then obviously we talked about this on the first day as well because it's so important to me, is just to try and give me 100%. Okay. Homework policy. I send a homework packet home every single Friday. You guys got out of the first week's homework. I would have sent one home last Friday, but you guys got off easy. So the first one, we'll see if we can get it together for this Friday. But it is the entire week's assignments in that packet. It's not too much. It's more just kind of drill practice, making sure that you're understanding it. So when you're home by yourself, you're understanding the work that we're doing in class and just get that additional practice that you need to succeed in that skill. The homework will be due the following Thursday. So you have one full week to do it from Friday to the following Thursday. And it's when you walk through the door. So if you hand it in to me after the end of class, or if you hand it in to me later that day, it is still considered late. I also post the homework on Google Classroom in case you need an extra copy. So those, once I start giving homework, you can find extra copies on Google Classroom. I also, on my Google Classroom, I'll show you in a minute, but I have videos of me teaching subjects as well. So if you need a refresher on how to do a problem, that's there for you. Late policy. There's a point deduction for every day it's late. After 2 weeks, you can receive 50%. Past the 2 week time frame, incomplete work will not be graded. So I only grade things if it's within the 2 week time frame. If not, it is a 0. The topics that we're going to be covering are integers, rational numbers, proportions, percentages, data analysis, probability, surface area, volume, measurements. That's some of you, I know we're asking about pi, circles, all that kind of stuff, proportional reasoning. Test, you'll probably have something about every week, whether it's a quiz or a chapter test, or just a kind of a quick check-in with you guys to make sure that you're understanding it. So you'll have something every week. I will let you know ahead of time. Every test will either have the option to be retaken or test corrections. I will let you know ahead of time which one it will be. And test correction students will receive a half point back for every question that they fix with an explanation and work. If it is a retake, I will give you full credit for whatever the best grade is. So if you got, let's say, a C and you weren't happy with your C and you wanted to take the retake and you got an A, you get the A. I do not average the grades. If you got a B and you're just not happy with it and you know that you could have done better, you can still do that and get the better grade. If you get a B and you retake it, and let's say you get a D, we'll probably have a talk about why you got a D, but I will continue to give you the better of the grades. If you're wondering what calculator, these are just some examples of ones. It's just make sure it has a negative sign. I'll go over that more when it gets a little bit closer to the time. We do need composition notebooks, 2 folders. We use a lot of dry erase markers, so make sure you have one, the calculator, and that's pretty much all the materials that you need for my class. So moving forward, you should be signed into Google Classroom. I'm going to go ahead and take you to a couple of the websites. Most of these, I have to have you guys sign up for Google Classroom. So I really want you to do that today so that I can import you into some of these databases. The one that doesn't need it though is called That Quiz. So I'm going to come over here and just show you guys that one real quick. It's pretty cool. So sometimes I'm going to give you guys a code. If I give you a code, that's going to be put right down here where it says test code. And then your name will pop up. All the names will pop up. You click on your name, and then it's pretty much a fluency. So let's say we're doing integers. Come to arithmetic. You can change, let's just go to some simple multiplication. You can change the levels. I could make it harder. I'm going to go feedback. I'm going to click on. You can change the length. You just do open-ended. You can do negatives within there. You could do addition, subtraction. We can click off 4, doesn't matter. And then it just does it for you. So you type in 6, you click OK, it tells you whether you're right or wrong. Now, let's say you think this one is 18. Hopefully you don't think that, but 18. Okay. This one, it says this is what your answer is in parentheses, and then it shows you what the correct answer actually is. So it doesn't give you an explanation like maybe some of the other websites like Khan Academy will, but it does tell you what the correct answer is. So you could always write that down and then come bring it to me, and I could explain it to you in more detail. Or you could try to figure out, oh, I see why it's 3 now. Okay, so that's that quiz, and it has a whole bunch of different topics that you can go to. This is just one of those many topics, as you guys saw on the main page. You don't need to have a password or username or anything for this website. So this is just kind of free for you to go into whenever you want, just for additional practice. Like I said, you don't need a username or password. You just come on and click in to the website. All right. The first topic that we are going to discuss in your Google Classroom, I don't have it shared with you guys yet, but you should probably see it in your feeds once you're in, and it's going to say absolute value Jamboard. Okay, so I want you guys to click on that absolute value Jamboard, and this is the assignment that I want you guys to do. The first thing we're going to talk about is called absolute value. Go ahead and write this in your notes. I'll help you more when I get back with putting some of this stuff into your notes. We're going to set up our notebook. So I have table of contents and all that. So go maybe about 4 pages in and then start writing this. Don't write it on the first page because that's where your table of contents, your reference sheet, some other papers that I'm going to have you glue in there. So go about 4 pages in if you want to write this down in your notes. All right. Again, feel free to pause this whenever you need to. Absolute value. This means that everything in the parallel lines is positive. Okay. So here are some examples down here. These are what I'm talking about when I say the parallel lines. Okay. Everything inside of these are positive. So this is a -2, but it's going to turn into a +2. Okay. Absolute value is actually the distance from 0 on a number line. So since we're discussing number lines, I want you to pause this video and I want you to draw a number line on your Jamboard and label it from -5 to 5. I'm going to give you guys a second to do that. All right. Hopefully you paused this video and you did that. So that should be done at this point. If you didn't, pause it now and draw that number line. And then we just want to make sure you know how to draw a correct number line. Okay? All right. So your number line should look like this. 0 should be in the middle. All the positives are over here. To use this Jamboard, you can just come over here, click different colors, etc. 3, 4, 5. So this would be 1, and then this would be 5. And 2, 3, 4, 5 would all be in the middle. And then most students are good with that. This is where sometimes the confusion happens. It happens a lot, especially at the beginning of the year, because kind of getting our minds back in the right mind frame. But -1 starts right here. -5 is going to be down here. Sometimes I see students reversing that and putting -1 right here. If you did that, it's okay. Just make note of it and learn from that mistake. So think about it. If you put -1 right here and -5 right here, where would like -20 go? You're kind of boxing yourself into this little spot. So 0's in the middle, and then the negatives go out to the left, and then the positives go out to the right, and they start small and they get bigger as you go. Start small, get bigger as you go. All right. So absolute value is the distance from 0 on a number line. All right. So if it's the distance from 0 on a number line, then -2 is 2 away from 0. So the absolute value of -2 is +2. The absolute value of +5, it's still 5 away from 0. So my answer's +5. Everything is positive. Even if it's positive, it stays positive. If it's negative, it goes to positive. Everything is positive. So this is one of the easier things that you're going to do this year. 1 minus 4, which we'll talk about more when we get to integers, but something like this, the answer would be -3, because I think if I have $1 and I take away $4, so if you have $1 on your table and I say, give me 4, you can't give me $4. You only have $1. So you can give me the $1 that you have on your desk, but then you owe me 3 more. So you're in debt to me $3. So you're at -3. But since it's in those positive lines, my answer will end up being +3. So if something is inside of here, you just solve it completely normal. And then if the answer ends up being negative, you just turn it to a positive. Okay. Go ahead and pause. Take this into your notes. And then when you're ready, go ahead and push play again. And we'll go to the next slide on here. Okay. So I'm going to put up some different problems. I'm going to be writing them out, and I just want you to practice them, and then you guys can get with a partner and go over your answers, and then you guys can go over a whole group and make sure everyone in the class has the correct answers to all 9 of these problems. If you want additional help with this, I am going to put an Edpuzzle as well up on the well, I guess if you guys aren't signed up for the Google Classroom, I can't do that. So pause on that thought. You can just go into Khan Academy. I'll get you guys signed up for Khan Academy later, but you can just go to Khan Academy. You don't need username or password. You just go up here to search and type in absolute value. And then what I want you guys to do is over here, there's videos and practice problems, and I want you just to go through that and make sure you're understanding and you practice absolute value. If you feel good about that, you can go ahead and move on to coordinate planes because that's going to be the next topic that we do. It is in here as well, so we're going to take some coordinate plane notes when I come back and play Battleship. So I'll prepare you guys for that later. But if you wanted to look at that on Khan Academy, you can do that as well. I also have blue textbooks on the back of my bookshelf. And once you're done with this activity, you can go back and get the blue textbooks and look at absolute value and coordinate planes as well. But first, let's do these 9 practice problems in our notebook. Okay? Oops. Now, you each have your own one of these. So your results actually get sent to me so I can see everything that you guys are doing. So make sure you are doing it on this Jamboard. Ooh, that should be a 2. Ooh, sorry, it's a little messy. 2s are hard to write. Okay. Make an easier number here. And then on these, I'm going to go a little bit harder. We're going to go back to a little bit of 6th grade, and we're going to do a little bit of order of operations. See if you guys remember how to do that. So on 7, 8, and 9, remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally from last year. Just write that up there as kind of a refresher for you guys. So make sure that you're using order of operations. And then whatever your answer is, make sure it ends up being positive. Okay. So here are your 9 problems. Go ahead and pause this video, do the 9 problems, and then get with a partner and go over your answers. And then if there's extra time after this, like I said, go on to khanacademy.org. That's KHAN academy.org, and type in absolute value. And then if you feel confident on that and all those practice problems, you can even then go on to coordinate planes. And hopefully I will see you guys soon.